Let me ask you something that might stink a little. Have you ever replayed a season of your life that thought, I knew this was over, but I stayed? I knew I was unhappy, but I stayed. I knew they were not changing, but I stayed. I knew it was killing my peace, but I stayed. And then, right after that thought comes the shame. What's wrong with me? Why didn't I leave sooner? You start beating yourself up from the extra time, the extra months, years, chances, apology, explanations. But what if I told you this? You didn't stay because you were stupid. You stayed because you were hopeful. You stayed because you were loyal. You stayed because you were scared. You stayed because you were human. And today, it's time to forgive yourself for that because this is day 24 of our self-forgiveness journey, and we are not dragging ourselves through the mud for the version of us that stay too long. We're going to understand them, honor them, and gently release them. Hello, hello, my beautiful soul. Welcome back. If you have been walking this 28-day journey with me, you already know we don't play with surfer level healing here. We don't. We go deep, we tell the truth, we cry a little, we laugh sometimes, but we always, always come back to compassion. I'm Dagmary Daniels, your host, your life coach, and a woman who was absolutely stay places way past the expiration date. So trust me when I say it, I get this one. So today episode is called it I forgive myself for staying too long. And when I say staying too long, that might be a relationship, a situationship, a friendship, a job, a church, a community, a family dynamic, or even a mindset, identity, or a habit that stops serving you. So we are going to talk about why you stay, why it's so hard to live, how staying too long affect the way you see yourself, and how to forgive yourself without rewriting history or pretending it didn't hurt. By the end of this episode, I want you to feel lighter, not because what happened disappears, but because the guilt wrapped around it start to loosen. So let's get into it. What do we really mean when we say I stayed too long? We're talking about the gap between the moment you knew something was not right and the moment you actually left or changed it. That gap can be filled with excuses, hope, fear, attachment, denial, bargaining, spiritualizing, maybe tomorrow, and a whole lot of what if. We label that gap with judgment, like I was dumb, I was weak, I waste my time. But here's the truth underneath that. You stay because a part of you still believes something might change in them, in the situation, or in you. You stay because you were attached to the history, the potential, the image, the dream, the comfort. And the last one, the role you play. And this matter for self growth and healing because if you don't forgive yourself for staying too long, you start to hate yourself for loving hard. You start to think, I can I can trust myself in relationship. My judgment is trash. I attract nothing but pain. If I got it wrong before, I will go get it wrong again. What happened when we ignore this part of ourselves? We either close completely, never again, I will just stay alone for it forever, or repeat the same pattern because we never healed the wound that made us stay. Staying too long is not just about time, it's about identity and word. And if we don't touch that with compassion, we will keep punishing ourselves in the present for decisions we made with less awareness, fewer tools, and much more fragile heart. So let me be real with you. There was a relationship in my life where I knew deep down it wasn't aligned. It was not. It had reflex from day one. And I knew it from the way my spirit felt heavy, the way I had to shrink part of myself to keep the peace, the way my boundaries got blurry, the way my intuition kept tapping me on the shoulder like, hey, something's off. There were good moments, sure. There were. There were laugh, memories, comfort. And there were also red flags I painted white because I wanted the story to work. I remember thinking like I if I just love harder, if I just communicate better, if I just give it more time, maybe it will turn into what I see in my head. Every time I thought about leaving, I get hit with a wave of guilt, fear, loneliness, and an awful question. What if I'm the one who's wrong? So I stayed. I stayed through apologies that were not followed by change. I stayed through promises that expire. I stayed through I'll do better, and I didn't mean it. I stayed after my body started telling me this is not safe emotionally or physically. And when it finally ended, when I finally walked away, I wasn't just heartbroken. I was ashamed because I realized I knew. I knew and I didn't go. I knew and I kept going back. So I started attacking myself. How could I be so stupid? You teach about healing. Look at you. You wasted so much time. You should have left the first time, the second time, the 10th time. The shame didn't come from the ending, it came from the timeline. And then one day something shifted. I was journaling and I wrote this question: what was I hoping to get by staying? I'm going to repeat it so you can do it too. And you're stuck in this situation like I was. What was I hoping to get by staying? And what poured out surprised me. I wasn't staying because I love pain. I wasn't staying because I had no self respect. I was staying because I wanted to be chosen. I, I, I was staying because I I wanted to believe people can change, to keep my family or future together. I was staying because I wanted to not start over again. I staying because I wanted to not be the one who failed. I was staying because I wanted to protect the version of love I dreamed about since I was young. I was staying because I was still that little girl inside who learned that living make you ungrateful, selfish, or difficult. I was staying because I didn't want to be the billion in someone else's story. The realization softened something in me. I could finally say, I wasn't dumb. I was devoted. I was sacred. I was hopeful. I was doing the best I could with the emotional tools I had at the time. And that's when my self talk started to shift from you stay too long, idiot, stupid, pendeja in Spanish, to of course you stay. You love them. You love the idea. You love the potential. And now you know better. That was my transformation moment. Not the day I left, the day I stopped beating myself up for how long it took. So now, all right, let's coach this. Today work is about releasing the shame around the timeline. You cannot change how long you stay, but you can change how you relate it to that version of you. So let me talk with step one. Name where you stayed too long in your journal or in your mind. Complete this sentence. I feel like I stay too long in that relationship, that job, that friendship, that environment, that habit, pattern, identity. Identify it. I feel like I stay too long in what you stay long. Be specific. Don't dodge it. Okay? We are telling the truth gently. So let's put it like that. In my case, I feel like I stay too long in this relationship, in that relationship. So I'm going to write down that tense. Be specific, okay? Step two, ask, what was I hoping for? Instead of calling yourself names, ask, what was I hoping will happen if I stay? Maybe you were hoping for change, healing, stability, marriage, a promotion, a parent's approval, a sense of family, not being alone. Write it down. This is not justifying everything what happened. It's to humanize your decision. So in my case, I feel like I stay too long in that relationship because I was thinking I can make a change. So write it down. Step three, what was I afraid of losing? Now go deeper. What did I think I'd do lose if I left sooner? Possibility, love, identity, financial security, community, image, children, stability, sense of purpose, familiarity. Whatever it was, it mattered to you. That's why you stayed. In my case, let's put it like that. None of this we're here. I stayed because for me that was love, but it wasn't. So step number four, speak compassion over that version of you. Now, imagine the you from back then sitting in front of you right now. Look at her, tired, hopeful, confused, scared, lawyer. Say something like, I see why you stay. You were trying to protect yourself. You were trying to protect your heart, your family, your dream. You didn't have the clarity you have now. You didn't have the strength you build now. I will not punish you for not knowing yet what I know today. Talk to that person in front of you. Tell her that. This is not about excusing harm done. It's about ending the emotional violence you do to yourself every time you revisit that chapter. Stay. Step number five, claim what you gain. Even if the staying, this one is tough but powerful. Ask, what did staying teach me? Maybe it taught you your limits, what you won't tolerate again, how strong you really are, what kind of love you actually need, that ignoring your intuition hurts, that you can rebuild after loss. You might say, I hate that it took that long. That's valid. It is. But you're allowed to hold both. I wish I left sooner and I honor what I learned while I was there. Step three, make a promise to your future self. Finish this sentence. Next time I notice red flag feeling partner, I will pause and listen to my intuition. Next time I notice red flags feeling partner, I will speak up earlier. Next time I notice red flag feeling partners, I will ask for help. Next time, make you the promise. We're making the promise to our future self. Remember that. Finish the sentence. Next time I notice red flag feeling partners, I will not negotiate my boundaries. And last one, next time I notice red flag feeling partner, I will leave when my peace is consistently sacrificed. You're not just forgiving the past you. You're guarding the future you. And let me tell you what happened when you truly forgive yourself to staying too long. First, you reclaim your self respect instead of, I'm so pathetic for staying. You start saying, I was loyal, I was hopeful, and now I'm wiser. Your story shift from shame to strength. Number two, you trust yourself again. When you are stuck in regret, you don't trust your own judgment. Forgiveness let you say, I did not know then what I know now. And now that I do, I can choose differently. That reveals a stop. You stop over number three, you stop over correcting into self-abandonment. Some of us overcorrect like this. I stayed too long before, so now I live at the first sign of trouble. I don't let anyone in. I don't risk anything. But that's not healing. That's fear in a new outfit. Forgiving yourself allow you to find balance. You can love deeply and protect yourself. You can give chances and have limits. You can. Number four, you stop shaming your capacity to love. You realize I stay because I care. I stay because I was invested. I stay because I wanted to believe the best. You stop hating your big heart and start learning how to guard it instead of shrinking it. So let's land this plane. And you might always wish you have left sooner. That's human. But you don't not need to spend the rest of your life beating yourself up for the time it took to walk away. The truth is, you didn't stay too long because you were worthless. You stayed because you were trying to say something. You stayed because you were trying to not disappoint. You stay because you were trying to not be alone. You stay because you were trying not to not start over. You stay because you were doing the best you knew with the self-worth you had at the time. And now you know more. Now you see more. Now you are more. It is time to let that timeline go. So, so here is your day 24 affirmation. Put your hands on your chest and say, I forgive myself for staying longer than was good for me. I honor the version of me who tried, and I choose to protect the version of me who exists now. Say it with me again. I forgive myself for staying longer than was good for me. I honor the version of me who tried, and I choose to protect the version of me who exists now. You don't have to keep dragging the chapter like a punishment. You can close it with gratitude, lesson, and self respect. And remember, you're not behind in your healing. You are right on time to treat yourself with more compassion than you ever have before. So, all right, my beautiful soul, thank you for sitting with me in through day 24. I know this one might pull it on some old threads. I know that. If you feel tender after this, do something kind for yourself today. Breathe, journal, take a warm shower. Play a song that reminds you of your strength, not your scars. And if you know someone who constantly say, I can't believe I stayed that long, share this episode with them. They deserve to know they are not stupid, they're human, and they are still worthy of love and fresh start. Make sure to follow the podcast so you don't miss the final day of this 28-day self forgiveness journey. If you want more tools, journal prompts, and resources to support your healing and growth, come visit me at www.waitofthewiseowl.com. Like always, my beautiful soul, I love you guys. I see the lessons in your past and I see the power in your present. I will meet you back here for day 25. Until then, be gentle with the version of yourself who stayed because she believed in love. She deserved compassion then. You deserve it now. Talk to you soon. Love you guys. Be blessed. Have a wonderful and beautiful day. Bye.